Hello all, you are watching the Phosphene channel. For more than 100 years archaeological excavations and research have been going on in Egypt. During this time, scientists have found many discoveries, many truly amazed them and even changed the idea of the history of ancient Egypt. But there are also those finds that have frightened researchers. Many are convinced that they are cursed and bring misfortune to everyone who touches them. In this video we will tell you about the most incredible finds in Egypt throughout history. Pyramidera Papyri. In 2013, a team of archaeologists announced the discovery of a port built along the Red Sea, some 4,500 years ago, during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu. Among the finds are papyri that describe the construction of the Great Pyramid at Giza, the largest pyramid ever built. The papyri say that the limestone used for the exterior facing of the Great Pyramid was delivered from the quarry below by the Nile River and a series of canals. According to the papyri, one trip by boat to deliver limestone took about 4 days. A mummy with a golden tongue. In 2021 in Egypt, archaeologists unearthed a mummy with a golden tongue in its mouth. Its approximate age is estimated at 2,000 years. A team of archaeologists discovered 16 burials carved into the rock tombs. Inside were poorly preserved mummies. It is believed that the dead were given gold foil amulets in the shape of tongues so that they could speak before the court of the god Osiris in the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians believed that Osiris was the lord of the underworld and the judge of the dead. Scientists have also discovered funerary marble masks and several gold coins bearing the name of Queen Cleopatra of Egypt. Tomb of Tutankhamun. The tomb of Tutankhamun in Egypt's Valley of the Kings is perhaps the most famous archaeological discovery not only in Egypt, but in the world. It was discovered by a team of archaeologists in 1920. The tomb contained fantastic treasures, including the death mask of Tutankhamun and his mummy. 100 years ago, this find immediately caused a stir in the newspapers. Many journalists claimed that the mummy contained an ancient curse. Tutankhamun became famous in part because he died when he was a teenager. Analysis of his remains showed that he suffered from various health problems and walked with a cane. Tutankhamun reigned for less than 10 years in 1300 BC. Legend has it that the tomb was protected from encroachment by a terrible curse that killed anyone who dared to enter there and disturb Tutankhamun's peace. Indeed, less than a year after the discovery, the head of the expedition, Lord Carnarvon, died of mosquito bites. Many people naturally assumed that the curse had worked. Moreover, shortly before the archaeologist's death, his dog also died. All of these events have long cemented the reputation of Tutankhamun's tomb as a cursed tomb. Many years later this myth was dispelled by the researchers. They collected information about several dozens of participants in that expedition and found that their life expectancy did not differ from the average, and they died of natural causes. The mysterious city under the sea. For many centuries there has been a legend about the mysterious city of Heraklion. It was mentioned in some ancient Egyptian records, but for thousands of years it was deep underwater. After years of searching, after surveying a vast area of the Gulf off the coast of Egypt, a French archaeologist and his team saw a huge stone face at the bottom of the sea. This was only the beginning of a grand find. Among the underwater ruins were 64 ships, treasures, gold coins, huge statues and even the remains of a massive temple. The ruins and artifacts are perfectly preserved and give an idea that 2,300 years ago there was one of the largest port cities in the world on this site. Heraklion controlled all the trade in Egypt. The city was like modern Venice. It consisted of a large number of islands, which were separated by canals. The main mystery remains the cause of the death of this place, while scientists do not fully understand the reason why the huge Heraklion was underwater. The Rosetta Stone. In 1799, historians discovered a mysterious stone in Egypt. It had inscriptions in 3 different languages, and scientists knew only one of these languages, Greek. But since the Greek inscription conveyed the same decree as the other 2 languages, it helped scientists to decipher the unfamiliar languages. The Rosetta Stone contained a decree written by a council of priests that affirmed the rights of Pharaoh Ptolemy V to rule Egypt. Pharaoh was 13 years old at the time. A scientific expedition led by Napoleon found the stone in 1799. The British later seized the stone, which is now in a British museum. The Egyptians have been asking Britain for many years to return the stone to its ancient homeland, but have always been refused. The Silver Pharaoh. By 1939, archaeologist Pierre Monteur discovered the tomb of Susen's I, the pharaoh who manifested Egypt some 3,000 years ago. But the most interesting detail of this find is that the pharaoh was buried in a coffin made of silver, and he was also wearing a gold funeral mask. Because of this finding, Susen's was called the Silver Pharaoh. Also found in the tomb were vessels in which some of the organs of the pharaoh had been placed during burial. Because the tomb was discovered when World War II broke out, it received little media attention. One of the main mysteries of this find is the unprecedented wealth of the tomb discovered. After all, silver is a much rarer type of precious metal for ancient Egypt than gold, meaning that the luxury of the tomb indicated that the pharaoh was very successful in financial and political matters during his reign. However, Susen's was not, which has raised many questions from historians. The Mummy of Amenhotep. Egyptian scientists, with the help of modern technology, were able to uncover the secrets of the mummy, whose age is estimated at about 3,500 years. The Mummy of Amenhotep I was discovered more than a century ago. Usually mummies of pharaohs were not wrapped in a shell, but the Mummy of Amenhotep was covered with a dense layer of tissue. Over the past 100 years, scientists have never dared to remove its shell and the mask, so as not to damage the contents. It wasn't until 2021 that specialists at Cairo University used 3D CT scans to reveal what lay beneath the layers of clothing. The scans allowed them to examine the body, Amenhotep I, with unprecedented detail. For example, scientists were able to find out that Amenhotep was about 35 years old at the time of his death. From what he died to the end is unknown. The researchers could not find traces of violent death or any disease, so until the end it is not clear from what he died of Pharaoh Amenhotep. The Valley of the Golden Mummies. In the mid-1990s, a group of archaeologists excavated a large burial site near Cairo. Initially about 100 mummies were found, some with gold masks and gold plates on the chest, others were simply covered with clay or cloth. Since then hundreds more mummies have been found in the area, but scientists are confident that this is not all. They estimate that the total number may be as high as 10,000 and that they are about 2,000 years old. The large number of mummies buried with gold masks and expensive jewelry suggests that the area several thousand years ago was home to a fairly wealthy population. Mummy of Ramses II. Many historians call the most powerful pharaoh in the history of Egypt is Ramses II. He ruled for 6 decades in 1300 BC. He lived more than 90 years and by rough estimate became the father of more than 100 children. Initially his body was buried in the Valley of the Kings, as was customary for a pharaoh, but later the ancient Egyptian priests moved it to prevent marauders. In the late 19th century, the mummy of Ramses II was discovered in a secret royal cache, along with the mummies of more than 50 other members of the ancient Egyptian nobility. In recent decades, the Ramses II mummy has begun to deteriorate badly, and today it takes a lot of work by specialists to preserve the artifact. The Lost Golden City. In 2021, a lost golden city was found south of the Egyptian capital Cairo. It is one of the largest ancient cities ever discovered by archaeologists in the country and one of the most significant finds since the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb centuries ago. The city is estimated to be 3,000 years old, with several districts, intact high walls, and even a bakery still intact. Oxarincus Papyrus. Yet another remnant of ancient papyri that has truly astounded scientists. Between 1896 and 1907, archaeologists discovered more than 500,000 papyrus fragments, some 1,800 years old. Researchers found the fragments in the ruins of Oxarincus, a major ancient city in southern Egypt that flourished when Egypt was under the Roman Empire. The arid conditions of the city caused the papyri used by the inhabitants to last for nearly 2 millennia. The papyri include the Christian gospel, magical incantations, and even a contract to organize a wrestling match. Although scholars have been deciphering these papyri for over 100 years, many of them still remain untranslated and quite possibly retain many secrets and mysteries. Tomb KV5. This is the largest tomb in Egypt that has ever been found. Although archaeologists discovered it a long time ago in the first half of the 19th century. The real study of this find began only 25 years ago. This tomb belonged to the children of Pharaoh Ramses II. This is a true complex of 70 burial rooms. They branch off the main corridor and contain 1,000 clay crocks, jewelry, a small statue of the god Osiris. The news of the discovery of this tomb was a real sensation for archaeologists. Pyramid of Giza. Undoubtedly, these pyramids are one of the main discoveries of scientists in Egypt. The image of these pyramids from the suburbs of Cairo is known to absolutely everyone. It is there that the well-known Great Sphinx is located. Inside these pyramids are a lot of rooms and hidden rooms, and the complex itself is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. That's all, my friends. Thanks for watching. You're welcome to subscribe to the channel, and more interesting episodes are waiting for you later.